It's your girl, 𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏, back with another video on today. Yes, on today, yes, hello. Now, there is so much nonsense happening in the world all the time, every day. We all know this, we all live it and experience it, right? And in a world that's just so consumed with chaos to the point that it's normalized as part of our daily digest, we need to find ways to protect our spirit because our nervous system is consistently under attack. There's always something that takes place that can completely throw you off kilter, you know? And my intention for this conversation is to remind you that even when everything seems beyond your control, there is one thing that you can control, and that is you. That is how you regulate yourself. That is how you show up in the world. Everything consumed with I and self is within your control. When it comes to external and other people and all that other stuff, not so much. The intention behind controlling oneself doesn't mean that you become individualistic and now you don't give a damn about nobody else. It just means that you know that regulating what's going on within me is the most powerful thing I can do in any scenario, okay? So with that being said, let's get right into it. I want us to talk today about our Locs and how they become spiritual protection for us out here in Babylon, okay? If you know, you know, because Lord, help us, God. Help us.
Jesus! What you got for me today? I've been good.
I got some kindness, I got compassion, and I got love for all mankind. You better get up on some of that, man.
Don't nobody want no like that.
Now, be clear. Our head, the center of our head, is considered our crown. For those who are into the spiritual realm, is referred to as the crown chakra. Just as babies, newborns, they have that soft spot in the middle of their head that's incredibly sensitive. You have to be very careful about it until that area of their skull hardens, right? After the hardening takes place and now your whole skull area is covered and strong, you still have a portal, if you will, of energy transference happening all up in here, all up in here, all up in here. By that I mean, it's believed that your crown chakra is what connects you to the divine, the source energy all around us, whatever you consider that to be, the creationary life that is the reason for our existence. Whatever you designate that as is what it is. And the idea is that by having free-flowing energy going up and down within your crown chakra all the way through the rest of them, the other chakras, you're able to be in a space of more intentionality, more connectivity, more alignment. You're more in tune with what's taking place and why, as opposed to just being a pawn. And by pawn, I mean you're just a piece in the grand scheme of things, but you have no say-so over what takes place in your own life, or you feel as though everything is always happening to you. It doesn't need to be that way because you as a vessel have the capacity to tune in, tap in, be aware, and then make informed decisions from that space. And then, you know, naturally, you also have resources available to you that you can combine what you are channeling informationally to what you can actually look up in the physical. You can actually do your own research and make that connection. It was like, okay, this is what I am registering, but this is also what I am computing. Two and two together. All right. This is just for context purposes because I don't know who's watching my videos. Always new people coming in who aren't about that life. You know, sometimes I got to put y'all on. Okay. So now that we have caught up with that information with your hair, let's talk in terms of loose natural hair. We as melanated people, we are aware that our hair grows out and upwards. It defies gravity. And oftentimes our hair is referred to as antenna because you can watch it consistently reaching up towards the heavens, just like with plants when they grow up and outwards towards the sun and everything that is above, right? Our hair does the same. And because of that reason, we are highly receptive to information all of the time. It's interesting. I was watching a live from True Brilliance the other day. If you don't know her, check her out. She's dope. And she made a really good point and it resonated with me and I want to share it with you. She was talking about how Black women specifically, you know how it is synonymous for us to be out here in some kind of covering, whether it be a protective style, whether it be a wig, a head wrap, any of the things, you see it with us. And she was talking about how when you're out in your natural form, as in your natural hair is out and it's not covered by anything, you are so vulnerable and exposed. And because of your vulnerability, the outside world is able to see you very, very clearly in a way that you feel unprotected. And when we're in a society or just in an environment that is you need to protect yourself from, what we tend to see is a lot of women subconsciously, they might not even know that this is what they're doing, but they're subconsciously trying to cover their crown and their self with the wigs, with the protect styles, whatever it may be, as a form of keeping themselves shielded from whatever is going on around them. There are some women who are aware of this fact, and then others it's just like a habitual thing that you do and you don't know why you do it. But from her point of view, that is a connection to it. And she was saying how the only women out here who have that kind of protection over their crown without having to put on the wigs and all that kind of thing are women with locks. And that's where my ears perked up. I was like, hello, yes, she's talking about me. Because when your hair is locked, just look at it. It's all of the strands coming together to create like a barrier in a sense. So although yes, your hair is still the antenna, it's much closer together. It's much harder to penetrate. The energy just can't go straight through it, versus when your hair is loose and the strands are out and about, they're just receptive to everything. When it's locked in together, not so much. So it's interesting because in a lot of religious or cultural practices, the idea of covering your crown is just a way of protecting yourself from all of the energy out there and also keeping that within yourself. And it's also a way to focus the attention on your third eye as opposed to your crown, which is constantly leaking and receiving energy. Your third eye is the one that's supposed to connect you to your intuition and your inner guidance, your inner knowing, so that you're able to see what? Through the veil, okay? You're able to see straight through the illusion of things. So the intention is to focus your energy here. But when you have locks, you don't even need to per se go about the whole covering my crown so that I can focus my energy here. Your crown is literally covered and protected. Your locks become the shields. You see what I'm saying? So much so that we like to talk about locks and the origin of it, and people like to argue about, oh, it's just a hairstyle, oh, it's just something that you do to your hair, it's no big deal, y'all making it too deep. But at the end of the day, if you really look into the different cultures that have practiced locking their hair, it's always affiliated with some kind of spiritual regime, okay, or some kind of energetic thing. Now let's talk about Rasta specifically, because that's part of my culture. Rastafarians believe that your strength is in your hair, and therefore in you growing your hair out and then also locking it, you are retaining all of your strength within your crown. So much so that back in the day, it used to be used as a threat against Rastas that if they were captured and arrested, they would cut their locks off because they knew it was a sign of weakness to be out here with your crown exposed. Okay. Also, in addition to your hair being your strength in Rastafarian culture, the idea also is that to show your hair, to show your crown, is a sign of reverence, it's a sign of holiness, and you being open and receptive to God, which, as we established earlier, your crown is believed to be your divine connection to source energy. So if you just look at the cultures around the place that practice locking your hair, and you're able to just draw the commonality between all of them, that is the commonality. Your hair, your crown, makes you incredibly receptive to energy, and therefore you must cover or protect it in some shape or format and focus your energy within. It's not just about hair. It's not just about looking cute. It's not just about doing this. It's way more than that. And it's okay, let's be fair. A lot of people come into the lock journey and they don't give a damn about any of that. They don't care. They just want their hair to look good. And you know what? If that's your prerogative, that's what it is. Be real about it though. Don't try to front like you on some other type of time when you're not. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Everyone has their reasons for why they do things. Now, the way I see it is when you have your hair in the lock format, it's a form of spiritual protection. It's a form of psychic protection, in that you don't always know or are able to recognize when you're surrounded by people who wish harm upon you, who have negative thoughts towards you, whether it be envy, whether it be just literal hatred or some kind of destructiveness towards you. You don't always know. But one thing I've experienced in my own journey is the more that my hair has grown and matured, and I have also done the same, the more readily I'm able to recognize when that energy is present. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It's like either they can't get close to me, like they physically cannot get close to me, or they're like, it's so weird because you already know energy. We're surrounded by energy. We emit energy all the time and it cloaks us. It surrounds us. You don't have to see it. It's felt. And one thing I've noticed about myself now that I've been locked and in this state of maturity is that it's like certain things cannot penetrate my barriers. They just can't get close to me. I can be in a location and then leave that location and hear later down the line that something crazy happened in that exact same spot, but I wasn't there for it. It's like I'm just too in tune with myself and with what's going on around me that even if it's not explicitly expressed, it is felt and it is known, and therefore I move accordingly. If you can relate to that, leave your experiences in the comments, because there's certain things about this life that it's so hard to just put to words, because you literally have to, it's like if you don't know, you just won't know unless you do, until you do. Just like I know so much about children and childbirth and all that kind of thing, but I will never know that experience until I go through it myself. I will never know what it feels like in my body. It's the same concept with locks. Like you can have all the concepts, you can have all the ideas in your minds about what it means to have locks, but you will never know it until you know it. I don't want to hold you up for too long today, so I'm just going to open the floor for all of y'all to leave your thoughts in the comments. Where have you noticed in your own lock journey protection? You've just been protected. You've just been cloaked from negativity or bad vibes. And that doesn't mean that as soon as you get locks, you're automatically protected. Because as we established in my last video last week, it all depends on your intention for this journey. If you don't care about anything beyond the superficial, then that's your life and that's okay. But if you genuinely are connected to who you are and you want to get even more connected to the levels of being and existence, okay, get into it. Get into it. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao. Bye.